What's going on, guys? My name's Spence,
And I'm Mitch.
and we're two brothers who really love King of the Hill. And today we are on the third to last episode of season 2, Life in the Fast Lane. And this is one, like we talked about in the last episode, this is what happens when you get crappy bosses versus the last one is what happens when you have crappy employees.
You think that they did that on purpose?
Maybe, yeah, maybe they thought it out, yeah, because it has a nice contrast between the two episodes. Because it's all about what happens when stupid people get power or try and get ahead in life and how that hurts everyone around them.
And that's a prevalent thing for sure. I've worked for a lot of stupid bosses before.
Yeah, I think we all have. But I really like the intro here because I can definitely see cops doing shit like that. Not so much the pulling you over, because that's definitely falls into the realm of entrapment. But at the end where he smashes the light and goes, I'm going to let that go.
Hey, man, I got to pay for that.
No kidding. So it starts off with Boomhauer ended up racing a cop, and the cop pulls him over because he beats him. But he gives him a hot tip that if he finishes in the amateur race, if he wins the amateur race, actually, he gets to drive the pace car at the next NASCAR event. Which, you know what? I'll be real with you. I've never been a big NASCAR guy. But I can imagine if that's your thing, that would be amazing.
I think there's some Texans out there who are going to take exception to that comment.
That's fine. Everyone has their own sports or their own events that they like. I'm not saying that NASCAR is terrible or anything like that. It's just not for me.
Us as Canadians, we're not used to it. When I did my stint working in Virginia, there was a NASCAR race there. My hotel room went up from $50 a night to $550.
Jesus.
They take it serious.
They have huge attendance, right? Like the stadiums are gigantic. They get like 50,000 people plus for them. So, yeah, it must be a big deal.
For the economy too, like for the local economy and everything.
Yeah, of course. That kind of stuff is great for, yeah, I always like it when the Oilers are in the Stanley Cup finals because all the businesses do well, even though I don't really care for hockey as much as a good Canadian should. I like it when the local team does well because everybody's happy and everybody does well.
Yeah, you care about the Oilers, don't lie.
A little bit, yeah. I'm more stoked about the Jays, who have just made it into the MLB playoffs for the first time in a decade. So I'm much more happy about that.
Yeah, me too. That's amazing.
Yeah.
2015.
Yep. And anyway, so the episode rolls on with Hank trying to teach Bobby a little bit about money, and that money doesn't grow on trees. He hands him a blank check, just asks him to fill it so he can get a BMX bike. That was those were big back in the day. I don't know if you remember, but they were like the hot shit.
Yeah, they were. I just rode them like a regular bike.
Yeah, I don't really understand what the difference between them and a regular bike is, but back in the late 90s, early 2000s, everybody wanted one.
You want to end up like Jeff Gordon?
I like Jeff Gordon. He's handsome.
Bobby, you joke around like that in public, people are going to think you ain't right.
Yeah, and they had those pegs too. Remember the pegs?
I do remember the pegs. Yeah, that was how you could tell.
I think this is the first episode though that we realize that Boomhauer is a prolific car guy.
We've had that kind of glimpses in the past, but now we're really seeing that, yeah, he's really into NASCAR.
It's so awesome that he has 3 guys to come out and tinker with his car with him.
And yeah, he's got 3 guys to be his pit crew, which I couldn't muster 3 guys to be a pit crew for me. That's for damn sure.
Not even. One guy would be a maybe. Probably for me.
Yeah, Bobby took his $1 that Hank gave him and bought a burrito.
He got so much for $1 though.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
For $1 today.
No kidding. I was thinking that when I was watching this episode for review. I'm like, man, how times have changed. If you get $1 a burrito, that's probably going to be like one of those gas station burritos that if you eat it, it'll probably kill you.
A burrito the size of your index finger.
Yeah.
I think Boomhauer has a Charger. I think he's a Mopar guy.
You're probably right. You probably know your cars better than I do.
Our dad's a Mopar guy, tried and true.
I like Bobby's little comment here where he loves the rope because it's so soft.
Is that Jeff Gordon?
I think it's Dale Earnhardt.
Before he died.
Yeah, and he actually voice cameos in this episode.
Really? Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, he has one line later in the episode. But yeah, it's actually him doing a cameo for this one.
Because he says the rope's soft and pretty, doesn't he?
Exactly. Yeah, he's that Bobby does. And Hank admires this kid's gumption where he says that I'll rest when I'm dead, I think is what he says, or something along those lines.
And that's something I've said many times. I can rest when I'm dead.
And then he is so impressed that he wants to get Bobby involved in what he's doing and get Bobby a real job. And we get our first glimpse at Jimmy Wichard, maybe the world's worst employer.
I like how they added the hand gestures there. You can really tell something's not right.
Yeah, you can tell pretty quick that something's not right with this guy. And this boy has obviously been ground down by Jimmy. And the second he gets someone to replace him, he's out of there. He's gone. He just dumps it all on Bobby and says, "See you later," and fucks right off.
He literally jumps the fence.
Bobby is so excited. And you can really get this feeling because anytime you start a new job, especially if it's like your first job, it's like, it's going to be great. Everything's going to be awesome. There's like this whole excitement about it. But then, of course, as time grinds on, you realize that this probably isn't all it's cracked up to be.
I liked how proud Hank was of Bobby there.
And
First day of work.
but we can see that there's something wrong with the boys here that are doing the same thing. They're all very disheartened and morale is very low. That's the peanuts. That's some random chick.
This is great.
Yeah, where he's got to deliver the sodas all the way up, and he just can't do it.
Every time I watch this scene, I just picture the 120-degree Fahrenheit heat going up those stairs with a load.
Yeah, that Texas is known for. Oh, man, he's struggling. And then this
And the
douchebag.
prick want a diet.
Exactly, I was just going to say that. Yeah, the prick wanted a diet, so he wouldn't even accept a regular one. And then
Who
someone
does that?
steals all the sodas. What? Who won't take a diet soda?
Poor young lad, eh? Oh, sorry, I want a diet. Like, he brought it all the way up there for you. Just take it.
Yeah, no kidding. And then we learn that Jimmy Wichard's a real piece of shit because he charges Bobby for all the stolen sodas, which, yeah, it's definitely not something that should be coming out of his paycheck, that's for sure.
It had to have been illegal, even in the 90s.
Yeah, I'm definitely sure that was illegal.
I don't
But-
think Bobby's a private contractor.
And that's what you get when you hire kids, right? Kids don't know their rights. They have no idea how to argue against the employer like that, so they just sit there and take it.
That's the point, is that they can't argue back, so you don't.
Yeah. We get to the boys here practicing for pit crew duty, and everyone does an excellent job except for Dale, who just fucks it up completely.
Oh, that's a realistic thing. I've done that with my gloves many times.
Get him
Broke down a
caught
bolt, my glove got caught in it. Yeah,
in a bolt.
it happened.
Jimmy here just wearing a hot dog suit inside. And then, yeah, Bobby's ending the day looking to get his first paycheck. And Jimmy's calculating how much he owes him. And we get this little glimpse here. He fucks it up and says that he owes him 888-88888. And I fucking love his face when he shows it to Bobby. He just looks totally like, yeah, this guy's not all there.
And you paid me $72, but you also owed me $40 for a total of you owing me $88,888.88.
This is one of my all-time favorite scenes when Hank's waiting for Bobby to come home from his first day of work. And work's so important to Hank, and it's so important to me, too. That's just... It's been sullied by Jimmy Wichard.
Work is definitely important in terms of it's what drives us and it's what gives us purpose. But these days, I think that working for yourself is the only way to get ahead, not working for other people anymore.
Unless you're like in what's the word? Like the club. Like you're in the club, you're up in the top.
Yeah, if you're already like have the connections or born into it or whatever, then yeah, you're fucking sitting pretty no matter what. But
Yeah.
all the people working hard for someone else are the people working hard for those guys. And they're never going to let you in the club. Like George Carlin said, it's a big club and you ain't in it. We get to Hank really disappointed in Bobby because he is saying that he wants to quit. But Hank tells him, don't quit. Instead, find the job that nobody else wants to do and do that. And come at work with a positive attitude. And it seems to have stuck because Bobby is ready to go the next day.
On a side note of the jobs that nobody else wants to do, you'd be shocked at how much the guys who suck out Porta-Johns make.
Oh, no kidding, eh? I bet you
A lot of
I bet that's a lucrative job. And we have that similar when we go to another episode where it's later in the future. Where do you remember the one where Bobby gets an intern with the guy who cleans up dog poo and he ends up like,
Johnny Knoxville.
yeah, and he makes a shit ton of money cleaning up dog poo. Hank is super excited that Bobby's been promoted to the quote-unquote go-to guy. But yeah, he's super happy that his advice seems to have stuck.
I think that's probably the one spot where me and Hank would have parted ways. If my son came up to me and said, I got a big promotion, I'm now the go-to guy, I'd be like, okay, where's your raise? Where's your responsibility?
He's got Bobby here mashing down trash and shit like that. Boomhauer's now finally in the race here, and he's taking an early lead over the cop who he raced at the beginning of the episode.
I think cops got to be pretty good drivers.
Oh yeah,
Especially at high
100%.
speed.
No, yeah, they have to be. They get training in it and stuff like that. So
That'd be so much fun. Training that's actually fun.
Yeah.
Shocker.
they have to pull Boomhauer in here, and they got Dale doing the extremely important
Holding
job.
a bucket of sand.
Holding a bucket of sand.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I know. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. Here's this little scene here where Bill's inside the car. I was like thinking this, and like, why would he be cleaning the inside of the window of the car? That is not an important thing to be doing at a pit stop.
That's a good point. But I was also, is it true that the weight of another man would make a NASCAR racer lose the race? Is it down to that much?
I would think in a professional setting, yes. Maybe not in like the amateur race that they're doing, but I definitely could think that could affect things because everything is tuned to be the absolute peak performance of a vehicle.
Yeah, they cut weight like as much as they can.
Yeah, so I think it would matter at the end of the day. Boomhauer unfortunately finished 4th, I think it was. So he won't get to ride the pace car out.
I don't know if that was a rule though. Is if there's a crash, I guess they do a lap so they can clear a crash. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone has to follow the pace car and stuff like that. I learned that from watching Cars for 50,000 times thanks to my son. He's obsessed with cars and that movie. So I learned everything I know about NASCAR. I learned from Cars. Bobby is starting to open up to Hank that there's just not something right here with Jimmy, and Hank won't hear it.
Bobby, the thing is that Bobby keeps trudging out there. He hates it. He knows he's going to hate it, but he keeps going out there. And in the new episode, Bobby has an incredible work ethic. And this is shows it a little bit in the original series.
I think Bobby has really, in season 14, he really becomes Hank or takes on a lot of the roles that Hank had in the main series, right? And we can see that he's taken a lot of his father's mannerisms. We have Dale Earnhardt here, and yeah, this is him actually voiced by the real Dale Earnhardt.
Hey, man, I don't remember that dang old third turn Darlington, man. He wanted to turn loose this man. Woo, road dog, tell you what.
Man, this rope sure is soft and pretty. I noticed it when we unloaded my car.
Man, the legend.
He just says it's so soft and pretty. Guys are like, what the fuck? He didn't even care.
When did this episode air?
I'm pretty sure it's 1998.
It was 3 years before Dale Earnhardt died.
We got the official NASCAR race going on here. Boomhauer's waiting for his opportunity. And poor Bobby gets chastised by Hank here for not being efficient enough and getting the sodas fast enough because they're all warm.
In that kind of heat, they don't last very long.
Dale clues us into something ain't right with Jimmy Wichard because they kicked him out of the gun club. Because he was such a moron.
To get kicked out of Dale's gun club, man. Oh, boy.
Yeah. You got to be some kind of real special to have that happen to you. And if I'll say some guy was trying to do something like this to my son, I would definitely react in a very similar manner to Hank. I think the main difference here is that I would not encourage this kind of mentality in my son. I'm very always question authority. Don't always listen to authority, and I can already see my kids adopting that attitude rather than the opposite. But I would not tell him to blindly listen to his boss no matter what.
So you probably wouldn't do too well in a dictatorship then.
No, I would not, unless I was the dictator. Then if I were the dictator, then, everything's going to run smoothly.
That applies for everyone.
No, I would not do very well in a dictatorship. I would be one of those guys hunted down.
Yeah. Take as many down with you as you can, though, eh?
Yeah. I'm not going down easy, that's for sure. Oh, man.
This was great. Hank kicks right through a chain link fence.
I know.
Not easy.
It's not. Yeah, he's seriously rage-powered right now.
You can't get me.
and he literally kicks his ass. We're seeing a lot of like literal ass kicking in this season. But yeah, good on Hank for redeeming himself, because that was definitely one of his best moments.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic Hank moment there.
And that's one of those scenes in King of the Hill that just sticks in my mind always. It was him actually kicking someone's ass.
It's like the only time it's ever been depicted, I think.
Yeah.
And Prox were kicking ass, but Hank actually did it.
And yeah, we had Peggy do it, right, to Leanne in a couple episodes ago.
Yeah. And then Bobby kicks Peggy in the box.
Not as effective, though. And we wrap things up here with Hank basically saying that he'd offer to pay or give Bobby whatever he wanted, to give him a bunch of money. And Bobby says he liked it.
Paycheck.
Yeah, a proper paycheck. And he says, you know what, I just liked it better when I asked you for stuff and you paid for it. Oh, man. Great episode. Yeah, we wrapped up pretty quickly, pretty abruptly there. But all in all, another great episode. So what do you give this 1 out of 10, Mitch?
What do you give it?
Okay, you're going to let me go first? Okay, I will go first.
Yeah.
I think it's a 7.5.
7.5? I was going to go with 8.
Not as many laughs, not as many awesome one-liners, but I had some moments.
It's another one of those episodes for me that I appreciated more later on in life. I did not care for it in my teens and early 20s, but as I've grown older, it's gotten better for me.
Overall, for the IMDb rating, people think that this episode is better than the last one, so I don't know what the hell kind of drugs people are on. IMDb is a 7.7. Again, we got right in the middle of that one.
I think probably by a bunch of people who just watched one episode of King of the Hill.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, solid episode, but definitely, in my opinion, not a classic. But moving on to next week, we have one. That's funny. This one, I remember our mom actually told me once, I don't know if you were there with us, that she really resonates with this episode, Peggy's Turtle Song.
Oh, she does.
Yeah. She resonates with this one.
For some reason, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So this is in the next episode. We have Peggy quits her job because Bobby is diagnosed with ADD. So she stops becoming a substitute teacher, and she ends up feeling a lot more claustrophobic at her house. All right, guys. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more King of the Hill content. And we'll be back at you for the next episode next week.
Awesome. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Dale, here's a bucket of sand. Hold it with both hands.
Hank, what am I supposed to do with the sand? It's slipping, Hank! Never mind.